Okay, student. Now let us today introduce. Let me introduce you to labor cost variance. So far, we have completed material cost variance. Okay, so now let us move on to the next type of variance, that is labor. Okay, it is very similar to material variance. The first element that we had studied in material cost variance was material cost variance. So similarly, here we have labor cost variance. Okay. So you can very much clearly see, yeah, the point of differentiation that I'm trying to show is very similar. Okay, yeah. Just see this material cost variance similar to labor cost variance. Okay, that is total standard cost minus total actual cost. Okay, yeah. Next comes labor rate variance. There we had material rate variance. Okay, yeah, standard rate minus actual rate into, there it was actual quantity, here it is actual hours. Okay, and one thing, students, when I'm saying actual hours here, it means actual labor hours. Okay, and when I'm saying standard rate, it has to be standard rate per hour. ओके, जैसे मटेरियल वराइंस में हमारे पास होता था बट पर केजी, ओके, पर लीटर, ऐसा. Labor time variance, there we had material usage variance. Okay, so standard hours minus actual hours into standard rate. Okay, and there the formula was standard quantity minus actual quantity into standard rate. So just we are replacing quantity with hours, that's it. Okay, next is labor time variance is further divided as labor mix, labor idle time, and labor efficiency. Okay, so the extra variance that you are studying is labor idle time. Labor mix variance, how will you calculate? And sorry, when will you calculate? You will calculate labor mix variance only when you have more than one labor type with you. Okay, correct. Like in material, when did we calculate material variance? When we had more than one raw material being used for making the finished product. Similarly, for making the finished product, when you're engaging more than one labor type, like men, women, like skilled labor, unskilled labor, semi-skilled labor, like this. Okay, so revised standard mix minus actual mix into standard rate. Then you have labor idle time variance. Now this variance, labor idle time variance, this comes into picture only when you have idle hours. That is unproductive hours, maybe due to breakdown of machinery, maybe due to lockouts, maybe due to strike, maybe due to power failure, okay, maybe due to breakdown of any machinery. Okay, all these 5 to 6 reasons they contribute in idle hours, that is unproductive labor hours. Okay, yeah. So the formula says idle hours into standard rate. And always remember one thing, students, whenever you're calculating labor idle time variance, it is always negative. Why? Because the word unproductivity comes. Okay, idle hours kab aata hai? When there is unproductive labor. So anything that is unproductive, obviously you are engaging labor so that there are productive hours, not unproductive hours. Okay, so automatically by default, your idle time variance is always negative. It will be always an adverse variance. Then last is labor efficiency variance. Now when I'm talking about labor efficiency variance, I am talking about the net labor hours. Okay, so the only difference between labor time variance and labor efficiency variance is the gross and the net labor hours. That's it. Okay, when I say gross labor hours, मतलब उसमें मैंने idle time को include किया है, and when I say net labor hours, मैंने idle time को exclude किया है. So अगर मेरा labor is working for 8 hours, okay, out of which 3 hours there was unproductive, so my labor efficiency will be 5 hours, and this 8 will be my gross, and this 3 will be my idle hours. So what is the formula for net labor hours? It is gross labor hours minus idle hours. Okay, so that's the concept. Okay, and then verification of step is same, like labor cost variance should be equal to rate variance and time variance, and time variance should be equal to mix variance, idle time, and efficiency variance. Okay, so there has to be two equations which will show you LHS equal to RHS. So all those concepts will be same. वो नहीं बदलेगा. Okay, that all is going to be same. So based on this, let us see this particular sum. Okay, see this question number 20. I mean this one, 27. Okay, calculate the relevant variance. Fine. So since it is the first sum, obviously I'm taking a simple one. Now there are grade of workers. You have two category of workers, A and B. एक से ज़्यादा है ना, तो the labor mix variance calculate होगा, right? Then hours per unit of output. That means my standard output is 1 unit. Standard rate is given to you, and actual output दिया 100. एक्चुअल आवर्स दिया है आपको, स्टैंडर्ड एक्चुअल रेट दिया है आपको, और क्या बोला है, कैलकुलेट द रेलेवेंट वैरिएंस. तो व्हेन दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट वर्कर्स मींस व्हिच वैरिएंस आई विल कैलकुलेट लेबर वैरिएंस. ओके, yeah, so start with first step is obviously always standard output should be equal. So if it is not equal, then you all know, I have told you, you have to make it equal. ठीक है, ये चीज़ें कभी मत भूलना. Yeah. बाकी शॉर्टकट्स वही सेम हैं जो हमने मटेरियल में भी देखे थे, सीखे थे, प्रैक्टिस करने मैंने आपको बोला था. तो दैट इज ऑल सेम. तो योर स्टैंडर्ड आउटपुट इज 1, एक्चुअल आउटपुट इज 100. ऑब्वियसली दे आर अनइक्वल, so I will make it equal. Okay, so my given standards are 30 and 20 and 2 and 3. So this is my amount. Okay, 60 and 60. Even if you don't want to calculate the amount column, it's okay, because anyways we are going to revise our standards. So हमारा I mean this requirement of this column, amount column, is not required, because anyways we are revising our standards, right? तो हमें इस कॉलम से एक्चुअली कोई लेना देना नहीं है when we are solving the sum. ठीक है, next what am I going to do? Actuals. Okay, so what are my actuals, how much they have given? Just check into the actuals. Just a minute. Yeah. Now, when you check into the actual students, you can just make a difference. See, 3,200, 1,900. Okay, and the amount is already given. Fine, so total it. Just total the amounts. Okay, then M plus MRC, that which shortcuts I had taught you, you have to apply the same. So 3200 into 1.5, press M plus, then 1900 into 4, press M plus, and then press MRC. You will directly get this total 12,400 total actual cost. Okay, then total actual hours 3200 plus 1900, 1300. Sorry, 3200 plus 1900, so 5100. Okay, now you have to calculate your revised standards. Okay, so how are you going to do that? We'll be using the shortcut. Okay, what is the shortcut? 100 divided by obviously 1, that is actual output divided by standard output. Okay, actual output divided by standard output. The actual output is 100 and standard output is 1. So 100 divided by 1 is 100 only. So 100 multiplied with 30, 3000. 100 multiplied with 20, 2000. Okay, yeah. Solve it. 6 plus 6 is 12. 3 plus 2 is 5. Fine. Then step 2, calculate the formulas. First, labor cost variance, total standard cost minus total actual cost. So 12,000 minus 12,400. ओके, तो कितना हो जाता है 400 एडवर्स. नेक्स्ट, स्टैंडर्ड रेट माइनस एक्चुअल रेट इनटू एक्चुअल आवर्स. दैट्स माय लेबर कॉस्ट रेट वेरिएंस. तो 2 minus 1.5 into 3,200, so 1,600 favorable. Next, 3 minus 4 into 1,900, so 1,900 adverse. Minus plus minus, so my answer is 300 adverse. Okay, next, labor time variance. So 3000 minus 3200 into 2, 400 adverse. 2000 minus 1900 into 3, 300 favorable. Okay, minus plus minus. So my answer is 100 adverse. Okay, basic of maths आना चाहिए obviously. Next, labor mix variance. Now, coincidentally, in this question, yeah, your labor mix, yeah, wait, yeah, this. So, same shortcut आप use करोगे, obviously, yeah. Total actual hours upon total standard hours. Material में भी हम same करते थे, total actual quantity divided by total standard quantity. Okay, तो मेरा total actual hours कितना है 5,100. Okay, divide by 5,000. Okay, इक्वल टू साइन, कैलसी पे मल्टीप्लिकेशन साइन को 2 times प्रेस करो. Okay, and then keep typing the answer that you want. So next answer I want is 3,000. See, my answer is 3060. Next you type 2,000, your answer will be 2040. Okay, so 3060 into sorry, plus 2040. See, it has to match 5,100. ये सेम होना ही चाहिए, नहीं है सेम मतलब आपने कुछ कैलकुलेशन एरर किया है. Okay, it has to be same. Fine. So now let us calculate mix variance. So 3060 minus 3200 into 2, so 280 adverse. Okay, next 2040 minus 1900 into 3, 420 favorable, minus plus minus. So minus 280 is 140 favorable. Ideal hours is not there in this sum, so right, not applicable. And labor efficiency variance, yes. Total standard hours minus total actual hours. So 5,000 minus 5,100 into. How do you calculate average standard rate? क्या फॉर्मूला है एवरेज स्टैंडर्ड रेट निकालने का? सेम है, टोटल स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्ट अपॉन टोटल standard hours. Okay, so into 12,000 divided by 5,000, so 240 adverse. Okay, once you get this answer, you have to verify your step. You have to verify the two equations that their LHS is equal to RHS. So my rate variance is how much? 300. My time variance is how much? 100. Minus minus is plus. So 300 plus 400 is how much? 400 adverse. Okay. Then same for time variance. 140 favorable, idle hours नहीं है तो 0, and labor variance is how much? Efficiency is how much? 240. So minus plus minus plus minus. So it becomes 100 adverse. So my LHS is equal to RHS. So obviously this sum is right. I mean the solution is right. Okay, clear about it? So this is what I meant. Okay, it is very similar to material, very similar. Only one extra element we are studying, and that is labor idle time variance. That's it. Okay, and efficiency variance means net labor hours, and time variance means gross labor hours. Don't forget.